This is GT Racing right now.
He's got traction, he's got rhythm, both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taking Anderson! Anderson's up top!
Oh my god! Big crash! Oh my goodness, half the field's gonna get rolled!
Six very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly.
Oh, there we go! Oh no!
That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my god!
God, what?
Yeah, so we're using the VRS Direct Force Pro this year. We have a wheel adapter right here, so I'm using the rim I used last year. But the motor right here produces a lot of power, a lot of precision, and it helps me, just feel the car more, feel the car a lot quicker. Especially, this week we're at Sonoma. I can feel it, when it hits the curbs. Any little change in the car, the wheel reacts a lot quicker than your typical gear-driven or belt-driven wheel. For example, if you're on oval and the rear tires break loose, force feedback on it corrects a lot quicker than your typical wheels. There's no resistance pretty much as far as being able to make quick corrections on the wheel. So all that, paired with how precise the wheel itself is, it makes it to where it helps you as a driver, to find that extra hundredth or thousandths of a second. So when you're getting a direct drive wheel, especially the VRS wheel, it's heavy duty. It's got good weight to it, it's not a plastic toy. It feels like you can really beat up on it. A lot of people have issues with their plastic gear-driven wheels just kind of breaking after a couple years. This thing just feels like it can go forever. The forces are really strong where if you might have to let go of the wheel if you get into the wall. You can adjust all that with the settings on it and stuff, but the wheel itself doesn't play around. It's got way more strength than you could ever need, and that's what makes it good, that you can adjust that down to whatever the car needs. So initially you'll be able to get the controller box and the motor together, and eventually you will be able to add a rim onto that option. They'll also be including a button plate on it to put on the rim to have all sorts of different buttons and functionality. Also, pedals are coming, so that's a pretty big deal as well. Hasn't been covered too much, but the goal is to also have pedals to go along with the Direct Force Pro. So that's pretty exciting. The wheel feels good. It feels very much like a real world steering wheel. You just kind of feel like what you would imagine the car to feel like. A real steering wheel in a car is very smooth, it's very direct, very quick, and that's what this wheel feels like.
It's the greatest battling that you will find of tactical minds. We can see a fantastic swimming pool, arguably the greatest place you can find on a former airfield circuit. This is Sebring. This weekend being the iRacing Sebring 12-hour. This is where you find amazing sim racing, and here with us at SimSpeed TV, it's the Virtual Racing School GT Sprint Series. Second round of the championship, time to start finding exactly what you are made of. So these drivers will be getting themselves out there on track right now. 8 minutes, 2 laps of qualifying, 40 minutes worth of race, 1 pit stop required. I'm Jake Sperry, joined alongside by Scott Fountain in the commentary box here today as we take a little look at what is a wonderful, wonderful Sebring track in what is going to be a very important battle that we are going to be seeing out there on circuit today. Zoom down into Florida we go as we get a little bit of an eye of where we are. In the middle of Orlando and Miami is the Sebring International Raceway, just a stone's throw away from the Daytona International Raceway, which is a little bit on the right-hand side, but right in the heart of Florida there, you can see Sebring, this former airfield circuit, and just how amazing it is. It's got itself everything that you want. 6 kilometers, changes from asphalt to concrete, bumps in every direction. This is a true test of a track, Fonty.
Yes, it is. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Friday night of jam-packed racing with SimSpeed. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome night tonight. Sebring, it's hosting the 12-hour this weekend, the iRacing official 12-hour. So I expect numbers to be pretty big for tonight. We're going to see some pretty tight racing, I reckon.
I certainly think so as well, as drivers look to gear themselves up for their outlaps. We have class category warfare here today as well. So we'll be seeing drivers in different styles of vehicles looking to go out there and make sure that their work is going to be in the best of their interests right now, as these drivers look to get themselves going. 5 minutes remaining here in qualifying, and it's going to be a long lap here, so we're not going to be seeing many opportunities for error. If you make a small mistake and your lap gets invalidated, that's going to be pretty much it for your qualifying for both laps, you would feel, especially if it's a mistake where you find yourself in the wall around here. And well, Fonty, it's really all about that middle sector, which makes this place special. That run up from the hairpin all the way up, going through as we focus on Alejandro Ferrero right now on track here, trying to pilot that Mercedes-Benz AMG through the Flying Fortress straight through Bishop Corner.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Sperry. It's a great circuit. We've seen some awesome racing here through the stuff that we've covered over the years. And the famous battle between Madison Down and Josh Rogers and Richie Hampstead, I think it was on this place. And yeah, fantastic circuit. Certainly one that I would love to go and visit and get a chance to have a skid around, but I think I have to stick to the virtual world for now.
I certainly have to as well. A little bit of a good smile feel from Alejandro Ferrero, trying to make progress to the start-finish line. We'll see how this one all plays out with this time, as those first times will be coming up on the board. That's a 59.7 over the line, which is pretty good. It was a 8:01 even, over the line. So still good enough for pole position at the moment. Dave Menado there goes through, but then Fernando Gomez beats the time, followed then by Alexandre Lacroix there, jumping up then to first position. So those times coming in thick and fast, about 7 or 8 splits then at this time of night to work things through. Julian Ezequiel Alvarez then jumping up into third position. So every reason to be excited there. And a Lamborghini coming to the line. Nilton Carvalho over the line on a 59.9 as well, getting very tight at the top. Vendel Para to the top of the timing stand.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Just seeing him go through turn 1 there. Very, very difficult corner to get right. You can so easily misjudge it and at high speed and just clip that left front inside. We've seen that plenty of times as we're riding on board here. Plenty of long straights and lots of runoff in some areas, and in some other areas not so forgiving. So yeah, we'll see plenty of fast racing in these GT cars, and yeah, what a great circuit for GT cars to come and visit. This part of the track through here is so hard to get right. You've got to be so patient on the throttle as you come out onto the front straight and complete a lap. Let's see what he's going to do. Any improvement here?
Well, he'll be down the bottom with that one. It's a 2:03.7 for Kiefer McKenna, and it doesn't count. So one more lap for that. There's Thomas Hinz in the BMW with the SimRacing Channel car out there on track, looking for good times. He puts a 2-minute time down on the board, good enough for 14th place at the moment, as we keep an eye on this Audi going through the corner of 1004 line, Sunset Bend. That's Alvar Gomez then in the Audi, looking to get over the line with a good time. That's a 2:04, which is good enough for 23rd place. Only a handful of drivers then yet to put one down on the board. Sergio Junior, currently at the top then on a 1:59.080, is clear at this stage by about a 1/10.5 here, Fonty.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing in it for these front guys. And yeah, good on Sergio for getting right up there. We didn't see him at the top of the standings last week. Few names that we from the split that we covered last week, but yeah, Thomas Hinz out there. Good to see an Australian Thomas Hinz. He's very, very fast in one of these GT cars, so interesting to see how he goes up there as well. I think I just saw the name Blacklock pop up on my screen. So
no relation to Sam Blacklock. So not a good finish there for Sergio. It costed. It really did cost, because that's Vendel Para to the top of the timing stands in the Maxon Oil car there. He's through by 0.03 of a second, getting it done. So a few drivers down then on the lane. We're into the final minute, so these times coming in thick and fast. Thomas Hinz has been bumped all the way down to 18th place and would love to push forward that BMW and gain. This is another one of those speed tracks where I think that we're going to be seeing the advantage telling when it comes to the McLaren MP412Cs that we're going to be seeing out there on track as they go through the final corner. Hinzy making the charge then to the line. Is this going to be a big improvement in time? 2 minutes, 0.067, could not find an improvement. He was half a hundredth down on what he needs. Someone who does need a lap time, though, is Joachim Stenström, then, who is going through the final corner in the Lamborghini, trying to get a good run to the line. A 2:07 was an outlap and one that did not count, but the clock is going to expire on him as he crosses the line. Will he get it in? The answer is no, he did not get there in time. So the grid then is going to form as follows. They have 2 minutes to get themselves on that grid before the pace lap begins, but it's the number 17 of Vendel Para who is up there on pole position with Sergio Junior alongside the top three, all McLarens, with Fernando Gomez starting in third alongside the number 1 of DJ Alessandrini. Yoni Catala then will go from 5th position with Alexandre Lacroix in what is 6th place overall, 159.5 there, with Karol Strosinski and Juan Bustamante making up 7th and 8th place. Julian Ezequiel Alvarez then starts in 9th place with Eric Nickens in the Audi there in 10th, with Alejandro Ferrero and Josep Jobe Gonzalez there making up the top 12. Dave Meneno in 13th then, with Scott McFowle in 14th position, with Nilton Carvalho in the Lamborghini and Alex Puentedura in 16th position, repping the number 8 car. Ethan Bass, the only Ford in the field, starts from 17th place on the grid. He has Thomas Hinz for a bit of company there, with the 10th row of the grid featuring Sasha Lippert and Kieran Blacklock from Club UK and Ireland. Mathieu Fortin then starts in 21st, with Christoph Rendlen in 22nd. Then it's Alvar Gomez and Alexi Kaiser then in what is going to be the next couple of positions, 23rd and 24th. Following that, you've got Benoit Lepesnek then in what is 25th. And then these drivers are all sorted out by their iRating. Kiefer McKenna, Joachim Stenström, and then Malte Stumpf not getting a time in qualifying, which will be a big disappointment after how well he did at Watkins Glen last week with us at SimSpeed TV. So the drivers all getting themselves ready and up onto the starting grid. They will all be looking to sort themselves out. They'll have one full pace lap around this circuit to psych themselves out, and then 40 minutes of hard racing as they go behind the Porsche first safety car.
Yep, there we go. Please, you were trying to read those names there, Sebring. I would have had no luck at trying to pronounce some of those guys. But yeah, some great drivers out here in the field. 28 on the grid. So this should be fairly exciting. Things where we're at a street circuit. I reckon this lap 1 will throw up plenty of entertainment. I did say that last week at Watkins Glen, and we nearly got through there. So if we hopefully we can get through today, but we will see.
We certainly will, and this is going to be what is very, very crucial. Everyone is going to try and put themselves in the best possible position. That's how the championship standings look. It is the legendary Rocco Barone who is up there at the top, the Italian volleyball player, then finding himself there with Simeon Lynch in second and Oli Steinbraten making it third at the moment. Max Del Orco, who had a chance of winning last time out, who was beaten by Raphael Bavanger, there is 4th and 5th overall. Dennis Grabowski, of course, as well. He's a member of Team Redline. He's 7th in the championship. And, of course, as well here, Fonty, the brother of the endurance racer, Augustine Canapino, Matthias, they're in 9th position.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm not too familiar with that particular driver, but yeah, really cool to see that brothers of famous race car drivers are coming out and having a crack.
Having a really good time of things at the moment. So heading through the middle sector of the lap right now. This is the run to Cunningham Corner. This is going to be one of the key places where you can get a move done out on this circuit if you are brave. This 90-degree left-hander always makes things difficult. You've got Collier Corner, which comes along straight after that as well, which really is all about keeping the foot planted as much as possible, hoping you've got grip on the run to that Tower Corner, which really does here make a lot of people just think about the way that they go out there and attack, because that middle sector is all about flow and rhythm.
Yep, that's exactly right, and there's plenty of runoff area, and you can easily drop a wheel and get a 1X on one of these tracks. So it's really quite difficult. We've only got 17, I think, before the drivers will have to serve a drive-through penalty. and yeah, kind of. It is very, very fast and flowy, and if you do make a mistake through that section, you can find yourself getting gobbled up by the competition very, very quickly.
They come through the Gendebien bend, and this is Le Mans, and you're going to see a lot of drivers running really wide on the left-hand side of that corner over the white line. They do have license to do that. There is no instant point for it, and it allows them to attack themselves onto the Ullman straight, this back straight, which is going to be all about setting up Sunset Bend, the corner of 1,004 lines, and nobody truly knows which one is the quickest as they go through. Para, Junior, and Gomez, the top three, but do not count out DJ Alessandrini. Definitely has the paces, raced, of course, in the likes of the Blancpain Championship back in the day in iRacing, so Alessandrini can definitely make some progress. That Porsche first iRacing safety car is going to be due down on the lane. The question will be, at what point does Vendel Para go out there and attack this one and go for this with everything that is possible? It is the Brazilian on the front of the field. Let's get ourselves ready. Let's get ourselves going. It's a green flag, and we are racing here from this Sebring circuit as we get ourselves immediately a battle for second place. It's DJ Alessandrini in fourth, Fernando Gomez, and a big incident in the background there. 3, 4, 5, 6, all getting caught. There's an Audi in there. One of the Lamborghinis has gone into a little bit of trouble there. It's the 14 car then of Joachim Stenström is also in there. Alexi Kaiser then, and it looked like it was just a bottleneck at the back which caused all the dramas.
Oh yeah, that's very unfortunate for those guys. It's yeah, with a track like this and 28 cars on the grid, everyone wants to try and win it in the first turn and get the jump on the start. All it takes is one person to, you know, hold back or jump on the brakes to try and outsmart their competition, and it can be a pendulum effect. But the rest of the field managed to get through pretty well. We've seen Sergio really drop back. He's sitting in P5 now.
Just got the move done. So now,
yeah.
Yep, that's with Yoni Kattler out there on track as they're almost 3 wide behind, diving down on the brakes there, trying to get through. That's Juan Bustamante trying to get that one done, and that puts him up into 6th place with a very, very accomplished overtake there as he goes through. Great start then at the front it was for one Mr. Vendel Para. He's got Fernando Gomez, who did well in second, and DJ Alessandrini there in third. It was Ezekiel Alvarez as well, who also got caught up. Separate incident that we did catch on camera. We focused on the number 2 of Juan Bustamante, now looking to attack in that 6th position and try and make that progress through. He's got big focuses then on that BMW prototype just in front of Yoni Kattler. And the big thing about that BMW prototype is that the BMW team are using iRacing to help them develop that car to make it ready for their debut of that next year.
Yeah, well, that's a very smart move by those guys. iRacing is a great platform, and yeah, with how real and you know, fantastic the service is, it doesn't surprise me that manufacturers and teams are using it to try and develop their car to be better in the future, or even try things to see if it kind of works, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So they'll be seeing that. Not a chance there for Dave Meneno to get through on Alex Puente Dura in that overtake as they go through. And there's a spinner in front of them there. That's one of the Lamborghinis, I do believe, that's gone around. There's more drama. So Alexandre Lacroix, reverses back on track, takes Kiefer McKenna with him then, who goes into a whole bit of trouble. Benoit Lepezinek as well is also in trouble, and Thomas Hinds also involved.
Oh, that's absolutely gutting there for Thomas Hinds and those guys. He's driving a fantastic race. So yeah, just going to have a look at the virtual racing skill replay, see how it all unfolded.
Well, here we go. It's up into turn number 3. Lacroix trying to attack on the inside of that BMW and get it done. He gets caught on the curb, and that puts him in a world of trouble. Now he's got to try and figure out how he gets through. There's a separate incident then as they go through. Everyone scatters through this section and make sure they don't run into troubles. There's Thomas Hinds, completely separate as they all checked up. He tried to go to the inside, and effectively it was that Lamborghini there that absolutely said no, and it was Malte Sturm.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate scenes there for Thomas Hinds. He'll be pretty gutted. They really involved in that too much. Just kind of got gathered up at the end of that all. So just taking another look here.
Yep.
But
We are
back live
absolutely
now.
We're now back live. Top 3 at the moment are clear right now. Vendel Para leads. Fernando Gomez in second. DJ Alessandrini currently in third position. There is Malte Stumpf on the screen right now, all on his own at this moment in time. But the big key is going to be strategy, and we've seen it so many times in this series. We've got a little battle going on here, a little bit of side-by-side. This is Alvar Gomez and Sasha Lippert side-by-side. So Lippert here in the 27, trying to fight this one on the outside. Not the ideal here for turn 1, because you then have the outside for 3 as well. So he might have to do some very clever up and unders or some knitting and purling, try and get himself through. And spinner. Just about avoided there. That's Josep Liobe Gonzalez then, who goes around for a spin. And with those new particle physics on those slides, very difficult to know where the car actually is.
Yeah, well, those guys did well to avoid him. He was in a very, very dangerous position, and I don't think he got collected, so he's going to get away with that one. But yeah, certainly pretty cool with all the new features iRacing has, and yeah, plenty more to come in the future.
Certainly, there was Alexi Kaiser coming down into the pits with a very, very broken rear spoiler. That will definitely not be helping the aerodynamic balance of the car. Focus, though, here on the top 3. That is Vendel Para, the Brazilian, out in front. Behind him, Fernando Gomez from Club Hispano-America, so I would say Argentine potentially here, trying to find a way through. DJ Alessandrini in third position from Club Ohio will be wanting to try and get into the mix with Sergio Junior, not a million miles away, in fourth place. Through they go here to this fantastic right-hand bend, which you can go out there and attack up there at Gendebien, but then you've got the Le Mans curve, which comes up straight afterwards, which is always a place where you've got to try and put the power down quickly and make sure that your run through this section is good. Now, what you should expect is that with the 17 of Vendel Para out in front, someone like Fernando Gomez just to sit back, wait, play the fuel game, and limit all of the damage needed here in terms of making aggressive overtakes with these McLarens 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They were just going through that last turn, and it's so difficult to get right, and it really wears out the front tires if you're too aggressive on it. It just keeps on going forever and ever. It seems like it's never going to end. And then this turn 1 here, such a cool turn 1. If you get it wrong, you can generally find yourself in that kitty litter out there. And then this is where the fun starts to begin through this second part, the second half of this lap.
Absolutely here, going through this Gurney bend, formerly the Big Bend, but Gurney bend now. Alessandrini driving the Lamborghini, in fact, so is there in third position. Sergio Junior in fourth. On the brakes they go at what is the hairpin, and you can see just how deep they go on the brakes. They try and go through. Para really attacking off the exit, though, and able to put the power down, gives himself a very good advantage. Someone who has made a good start then through the field is Alejandro Ferrero. He's up 4 places right now and looking to attack at this moment as we focus on Alvar Gomez in the Audi for the moment, looking to try and make some progress through. He's up 10 places so far in this race, really doing well up in 13th, and has eyes on Nilton Carvalho.
Yes, nice battle packs forming, that's for sure. It's 32 minutes still left in the race, and pit lane hasn't really lit up too much at this stage. Only a few pit stops been done from what I can see on my end. But yeah, fantastic to see these guys going hard at it tooth and nail. And we've got a lot more Lamborghinis out there today, I feel, Sebring.
Yeah, I think the Lamborghini is going to be very key because I think it's got a better maybe centre of gravity as we catch something on the virtual racing school replay for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is some side-by-side going through. Karol Strosinski then here is trying to get himself through, trying to defend it, but look at that. Down the inside goes Alex Puente Dura, moving himself up a place now into 9th. That is a wonderful overtake there to put himself back into 9th place in this race. But they have, with all that battling though, Fonty, allowed Scott McFall to break away. He's up 6 places so far in this race.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic battles, and really well done. He set that up and managed to secure the position.
He certainly has, on board with DJ Alessandrini in the number 1, highest I rating in the field in the Lamborghini, as he tries to keep himself in the mix then as they go on forward and push for place as they go towards this hairpin bend here. This wonderful, wonderful attacking opportunity there at turn number 7. Not quite going to be able to make that happen for the time being, but there are attacking opportunities off on the exit of that corner. There are battles going on up and down the field, and it is really heating up with Nilton Carvalho and co. All the way back for 11th place, and there's someone upside down, and that's Ethan Bass in the Ford, who effectively got taken for a joyride coming out of the corner.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Ethan. Yeah, car's looking pretty second-hand. He was doing really, really well up until that point. Be going for him tonight. One of the only Fords out in the field. We're just going to catch and see what's happened here.
You can see he goes down on the brakes then, and Sasha Lippert just runs into the back, and ultimately you can see up on top he goes. Have a joyride, my friend. And Ethan Bass is completely fuming over the radio. He says, my night's ruined, I've got damage. Thank you very much for that, Sasha. Even though Sasha did manage to apologize. You can see there's 4 cars in front, and he just gets caught up, and that Ford there is so low to the ground, it just bounces up then over the Audi with the way that it drives, and completely ballistas apart then his race. So not ideal at all. We go back on board with DJ Alessandrini in 3rd place, eyes on Fernando Gomez.
Yeah, here we go. This is starting to get pretty heated. No one throwing any real massive moves. Expect to see moves made through definitely turn 1 and through the middle section of the track, but Lamborghini's all over the back of the McLaren, wanting to get it done.
Well, he's looking every which way, but not quite finding at this moment is DJ Alessandrini. So he's going to have to play the patience game if he wants to try and get through, and being 3rd on the train means that he gets the best possible position to save. But the more that they stack up behind Vendel Para, the more they're actually allowing Sergio Junior back in, who was 3/10 quicker than all of these drivers on that last lap in the number 5 McLaren right now. So that's where the race is going to be. Sergio Junior, if he can pull up to the back and start saving fuel, he's definitely a shot for this race.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and that's what I love about this track, is it's not a complete horsepower track. It's a lot more of a driver's track and takes a lot of skill to be fast. And yeah, we're seeing certainly get turned on for us today. Great to see it's not just a one-make race. All the McLarens or whatnot right out the front. We've got McLarens, Lamborghinis, and then the next manufacturer is not too sure, but BMW, I believe.
Yes, so a lot of representation going on at the moment. 6 retirements in this race so far as we look at Joni Kattler at this stage. In the number 11 making progress, we've lost Mathieu Fortin, Eric Nickens, Christoph Rendlen, Kiefer McKenna, Benoit Lepezinek, and Alexei Kaiser all out of this race at the moment. Here is Thomas Hinz right now in 21st position, trying to get through on Ethan Bass in 20th position right now, who is really dropping back. Hinsey with an opportunity. Both drivers who have been involved in spins earlier on in the race. You can see that crumpled damage on the front bonnet here and the exposed left front wheel there for Ethan Bass, and that's going to be an easy move for Thomas Hinz into Sunset Bend.
Yeah, there we go. Hinz wants to make his way back up through the field.
Ooh, Meneno.
There we go. Spin up.
So a spin through the final corner then for Dave Meneno, and that's going to be very awkward. He was tussling about for position there as he was trying to go through against that Lamborghini in front, and he gets himself through the right-hander, and then he just gets some aero wash coming off of the exit, trying to put the power down. You don't really talk about it in GT terms, but when you do get stuck behind like that, you do get that difference, and that's why you see nothing off the front. It all goes badly. Now though, Fonte, look at where Sergio Junior is, back there on the back of the train in 4th place.
Yeah, there we go. It's heating up now. These guys are giving it all they can. Sergio's certainly in a pretty good position though in 4th. This will give them a chance to save a bit of fuel. Not too sure exactly when they're going to stop, but I'm guessing they're going to want to go for as long as they can before they're going to come in and grab just fuel only, no tyres. We saw a couple of people take tyres by mistake last week, and they really got affected by that. It's about another 20 odd seconds to take a set of tyres, and these GT cars, the tyre really does last a long time. You know, you can get sort of 2 hours out of a set of tyres on one of these things. So yeah, tyre wear not a massive part in these sprint races, but yeah, certainly does play a little part towards the end.
And there you could see there on the graphic, 1 second gained over the last 3 laps by Sergio Junior. He's really working hard to stay with this top 4 at the moment. Juan Bustamante currently in 5th place right now in this one. And you can see Alessandrini, look at that, nose to tail coming out of turn number 1 in towards turn 3 then, with 4 and 5 that follows. Again though, just very happy just to sit back, but he can't afford to be too aggressive on the back of Fernando Gomez here, Fonzie, because the moment that Fernando Gomez feels like he has to fend through those corners, Vendel Para's gone.
Yep, you're exactly right. They've got to work together, and yeah, if one's faster than the other, then and you know wants to go for it, then I'd just let them go. But in a place where you're not going to lose any ground, yeah, pit stops obviously going to play a big part in this, and it played a huge part in the end result last week. Our leader of the race, who led for felt like 99% of the race, just got pipped in the last few laps with just that midgeon of a slightly faster pit stop, as we see Thomas Hinds make his way through the pits. Guessing he would have had a little bit of damage repaired potentially from his accident during that pit stop, and now we're back focusing on with the leaders.
Yes, he would have taken as many optionals as he possibly could without losing any time. There is DJ Alessandrini. You can see the camera on the back then, which will be keeping an eye on Sergio Junior as he races. That's part of the system that they have. And it's also worth noting how much they actually lose in terms of tyres. Is wide in front there goes Fernando Gomez, and I think Alessandrini's got a strike now while the iron's hot. Big defensive move to the inside goes to the McLaren. Here comes the Lamborghini thinking about it at Sunset Bend. He's got to be aggressive here or they're going to lose Vendel Para pretty quickly in this one. Junior trying to be aggressive. Oh, there was a slide from Fernando Gomez. They're 3 wide. Sergio Junior up into second. He's going to get pushed in the tyres. Alessandrini in the tyres, and he's very, very unhappy with that one as he goes through. Fernando Gomez all out of shape at Sunset Bend, and then it got worse, and even more worse than that.
Yeah, he will be disappointed. That last turn has certainly, you know, given it to these guys. And yeah, you really saw that front aero push. Can't remember exactly which car it was, but yeah, Dent Gomez, they just leaned on each other, and then before you know it, he was in the wall. So he would have sustained a big impact from that, and certainly will be slowing the car down.
All of that happened through Fernando Gomez's mistake. It was an easy moment to happen. You can see he was put under pressure because he made a mistake coming through Le Mans corner, and he'll lose the back end slightly going through. He has to jam on it there. Great heads-up driving by Alessandrini to get wide of that slide, but then Sergio Junior comes through on the inside. There's the contact. Alessandrini's got nowhere to go. He finds the edge of the tyres there on the outside, and ultimately now is pretty much fighting hard to stay within this one. Let's go and have another look then on this one. This is from Alessandrini's perspective. You can see he'll find the slide there. He has to stay wide now because of that slide, but it's caught well by Fernando Gomez. You can see there's the contact, and from that point, you're being shepherded down into a dead end.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's, yeah, can't stress how hard that last corner is. And yeah, we've seen one person get put in the wall from Bromwich, so he'll be absolutely gutted. Don't put him out of the race win, though. He could still make his way up there, depending on how much damage there is in the car. His last lap, obviously, he did tag the wall at 202.1, so you know, if he's still circulating in the 2-minute flats, then yeah, he's got a good shot.
Oh dear. That is the replay of what's happened to Nilton Carvalho. Oh no, hits the tyres dead centre, goes upside down. Horrible incident there for Nilton Carvalho. His race is done with a toe, I would mark at this stage. There is Vendel Para who leads this race. Sergio Junior there in second. Here's some side-by-side as this is Bustamante and Catilla. Catilla's been very quietly working his way through, and there you can see as well Bustamante in the Good Smile Racing car, anime-inspired car livery there, just about able to hold off position and stave that off for the time being. So remains in 5th place, but really being put under pressure here in the late stages.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It was a little bit of a mistake for the number 19 car there. He turned in, and as I was saying earlier when we first started, that inside wall, you can easily misjudge it. And he turned in and then had to turn out of it, get off the gas and turn back in, and that's where he lost that pass. So expect that he'll get the next one right, though, if he can manage to get side by side with it.
Yeah, and you can see just how easy it is to pull up alongside or behind right now. Vendel Para really being put under pressure. If it's not from the likes of Fernando Gomez or DJ Alessandrini, it has been from the likes of Sergio Junior, who, remember, started in 2nd position, got a horrible start, has worked hard to get back. Here they go then, through that big right-hand corner of Gendebien, and that allows them to push through into Le Mans and now look to go and attack on this Ullman straight. Again, though, Para is able to just do enough, but I think Vendel Para is hoping, please, just give me Fernando Gomez back in this fight so that I don't have to fight one-on-one with someone. Maybe I've got more issues to deal with. The fight now very much on with Alejandro Ferrero, who was fighting Yoni Catala. Juan Bustamante has found himself now onto the back of DJ Alessandrini.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic battles we're seeing now throughout the field. This is certainly on for 5th place, though. Here we go. He's going to throw it up the inside. He's got it done, I reckon. No, not quite. Or is this lap car going to play into it? He might get out of the way. Doesn't look like he is.
That's a great battle there. Vendel Para around the outside of turn 1, holds on to track position, which can be vital. It's Ethan Bass there in the Ford who's going to have to get out of the way here of these two in the Texense Vitstai car, and does so there very much as needed. So that's the change. Fernando Gomez there in the and around. That's Sasha Lippert there in the Audi now. He's the driver who ran into the back of Ethan Bass earlier on. So a spin at turn 1 for Sasha Lippert. That will definitely not help him.
Yeah, certainly not. Not what he wanted at all. I'm going to see what's actually happened here.
He's all on his own, it looks like.
Yep.
Oh no, he's just got a huge wiggle. He's got a tank slapper mid-corner. And oh my goodness me. Who was that flying through the air and that has collected him? That's a massive hit and somehow keeps it on all fours as well. It's the lap traffic. That's Julian Ezekiel Alvarez there. Sorry, no, not lap traffic, but had a spin on lap 1. How on earth is that still on 4-wheel?
He has.
So he's retired it, Fonty, but my word.
Yeah, that was pretty intense rollover. What happened there was for that other driver who caused the incident, just came in there and the rears have just slightly given way as he's turned it in. He's probably been off the gas at that stage and then corrected it with the wheel. And at the point he's corrected it with the wheel, he's jumped on the gas and then it's just gone around on him.
It certainly has. So here is Juan Bustamante now trying to find a way through on DJ Alessandrini. Top 2 starts to get closed in now by 3rd place as we are on lap 12 of this race. We are about heading towards 25 minutes in, which might be the time where people look for it. There's a search to the inside through turn 1 from Bustamante, who's trying to get the power down on the exit, but just enough drive from the Lamborghini on that outer parabola holds off. There's another lunge here at turn 3. This is what's going to cost them time here, and just a little bit heavy over the curb then goes that Lamborghini. Suddenly the inside's there, but through Gurney Bend, can't get the power down. A little bit of the back stepping out there for that driver in the number 2. Alessandrini is able to hold station.
Yep, absolutely fantastic racing there by those guys. And is he going to be able to... looked like he was just about to give him a little serve, but he struggled to get the power down. Now he's going to be trying to catch his way back up there.
try and gain that place, he certainly will. There is Alessandrini in 4th place right now, trying absolutely everything in terms of this to keep it all nicely sorted together. He knows he's lost the gap of the top 3 by about 4 seconds, so he's trying to do everything to keep in the mix. But at the moment, the party, well, you can see it's down the road with Vendel Para, Junior and Gomez.
Yep, certainly is. Plenty of great racing going on throughout this field. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who can actually manage to hold off. Will Para have the grunt, have the speed, have the concentration to go through this whole race and do a pit stop still? So Sergio, he wants that win. He put it on pole, and no, sorry, he was on 2nd off the grid, and yeah, he does want that race win though. So we will see all the way through to the end. I think, yeah, he could get him in the stops.
Look at that. Fernando Gomez wants an undercut to put himself in prime position. Now, this is going to force the chain reaction from everybody else in the field here. The fact that he's the first to really dive. Nobody else has gone through for it at this stage. Not Malte Stumpf, not anybody at this moment. But now the focus is going to be on those top 2, Para and Junior. If they start fighting, that's trouble for them, because they know they've got to come in and they've got to really work on this at this stage. So they're at the mercy right now. Vendel Para staying out for another lap. And now all of a sudden, Junior looking aggressive, looking to the inside, looking to the outside. They're starting to fight. This is what exactly was being thought about by Fernando Gomez in the number 9.
Yeah, there we go. This is fantastic battling. And yeah, Gomez has done a 9.8 second stop. So just looking at the other guys who have pitted so far, no one really anywhere near that. We've seen a 13-second stop by Thomas Hinds, but he might have just been letting the damage be repaired on his car. So yeah, will it form a chain reaction from these front guys?
Oh, what a dive! He's not got it sorted. Alessandrini gets a hip check then and is very unhappy with Juan Bustamante going through there. He was going for a very bold move. Couldn't get it done the first time at Cunningham Corner. It was well defended by Alessandrini. And then when it came to the Tower Corner onto the Flying Fortress straight, it was a big lunge, but could not get it stopped there. Could Bustamante.
Yeah, there we go. So they've got a bit of time to find to catch those front 2 out there. 4.8 seconds at the moment. So Bustamante, he looks to have the pace on him. Will he be able to catch up with 14 minutes left to go in this race? There we go, another one for Lane.
Para's going to go down in, but Sergio Junior is going to stay out. He's looked like the fastest all race long. Into the pits then behind, I believe, will come Alessandrini, Alejandro Ferrero in the Good Smile car. You've got Yoni Catala right now coming into the pits. Puente Dura will also decide to make that call to dive down into the lane. So a lot of takers coming in. Alexandre Lacroix as well will also come down into the pits, as well as Josep Yobe Gonzalez in on the lane. So now it's going to be a question of where is that number 9? Already out and away comes Vendel Para, but in comparison, well, there was a little bit of battling there for Fernando Gomez over the course of his lap. He had to deal with Kieran Blacklock over the course of it, and that's why he's still behind here, that McLaren of Vendel Para.
Yeah, there we go. I think Para's going to really need to make sure that he pushes it as hard as he can, and because I can guarantee you that we are going to see Sergio come in this next lap. And has Sergio managed to set the lap record while he's going out there before he makes a stop? What time? Para, a 10.8, so not the fastest. Gomez with a 9.8 second stop. So has Para made a mistake, or has Gomez slightly underfilled?
I think it was more the case of Gomez got stuck in traffic and couldn't make the gap because he underfueled that car a little bit, I would have thought, to get himself out ahead, but it did not work. Battle going on here between Alvar Gomez and Malte Stumpf out on circuit. Just in front of them is Karol Strosinski there in that orange McLaren. You could say a traditional McLaren colour, of course, which was first piloted around in that colour by the legendary Bruce McLaren, a Kiwi just like you, Fonty, as things continue on. But a good run here by Malte Stumpf. This is a chance.
Yes, there we go. Great looking colour. that orange Lamborghini. And shout outs to the Bruce McLaren, the legend himself.
And shout outs, of course, go to Sergio Junior down in on the lane. Look, foul also on the lane. And all of these battles are going to stop because they've reached the limit of the tank. 14 laps as they hit the brakes. They are fuel limited here in terms of this race as well. So now the question is going to be, where does Sergio Junior come out in comparison to these two, Vendel Para and Fernando Gomez? So where are they going to come out? Now leaving the box is Sergio Junior. He'll be on the outside line, remember, going through. Gomez is thinking about it into turn one, and they're going to breeze on by. Overcut does not work for Sergio Junior. He's lost out.
Yeah, he certainly has. And it's, Sergio, 10.8 second stop for him. So identical stop to Para, he actually, but yeah, pit lane entry was not as fast. So that's where he's lost out.
Yeah, I think it was too pedestrian there on that pit entry. It's so easy to try and just be cautious and make sure you're still in the race. But Sergio Junior now is going to have to make overtakes. And in the final 12 minutes, with no pit stops remaining here for any of these drivers right now, it's attacking what you need to do. Fernando Gomez will sit behind Vendel Para for the remainder of this race, save that fuel he needs, which he underfilled with, and then go and attack on the end. There is Straczynski under pressure now as they continue to battle it out for place. And that behind is Malte Stumpf, who ultimately, both of them got jumped in the stop by Alvar Gomez.
Yeah, they certainly did. And tell you what, if Para manages to take this one away, he's going to be looking pretty healthy when it comes to iRacing increase. Number 17 on the grid. And racing against some pretty high-rated guys. So, let's see if he can do it. He's got the pace at the moment. He's got 0.3 of a second separating himself and Gomez. Can he put his head down and just go for gold? We've got 9 minutes left in the race now.
Starting to think about serpentining on the Ullman Straight, trying to break some toe from Fernando Gomez, who runs into Sunset Bend, the corner of 1004 lines, and now trying to figure out a way forward here to go and attack and to make everything happen in this race. They are starting to drop Sergio Junior, who's maybe struggling a little bit to get the tyres up to temperature again after that first cycle. But now Fernando Gomez has got to stay patient. They've got Alexei Kaiser just in front of black traffic. And that battle behind, that is Malte Stumpf getting it done on Karol Straczynski.
Yeah, fantastic move there. And he's not going to give it up easily, though. I reckon he's going to try and throw it on the inside.
Nope, not going to happen. As we focus once more here on Sergio Junior, who is starting to close in. Now, I wonder with that stop there from Vendel Para, the fact that he took an extra second's worth of fuel, I wonder if he's now not thinking about fuel save, but now thinking about, I've got to attack now, and I've got to break a second so quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And not too much that he needs to try and get down. And, well, we could hope for a mistake as well from these guys in front of him.
They can hope, but at the moment, it's all he's got at the moment, it seems, at this stage. On board there, we were briefly making progress towards Tower Corner and the Flying Fortress Straight as they now look to push on through in this one. There are battles up and down the order, including for 6th place as well, as we focus on the race lead battle between Vendel Para, Gomez and Sergio Junior. There is that battle for 6th place you can see on the timing tower between Alejandro Ferreira and Joni Katala out there on circuit. There it is right now, the Good Smile car in full force with a nice pink-haired anime girl at the moment there on the side, trying to make that progress forward. But there is the battle then in front. In the moment, Vendel Para is looking like he is hoping to break, and he's just not able to. They've got 3.5 seconds to Juan Bustamante behind. So the focus is really between these three and calmly picking up place. And here comes the chance for Sergio Junior.
Yeah, there we go. It's on now. Plenty of battles going on throughout this pack still. The field is quite bunched up, really, considering how long we had this race going. Some nice battles towards sort of 10th, 11th, 12th area as well.
We certainly do. Top 12 split by 18 seconds at the moment. Straczynski and Stumpf are 11th and 12th as we focus then, as we take a little look here. They go through Gurney Bend, they head towards the hairpin and look to attack then for that next section, that next big braking zone where you can send one down the inside. A little bit of a look into the mirror. Here's where the lap traffic's going to come into play. Alexi Kaiser now is in front of these drivers, and now it's going to be about where does he let them go on the straight through these Fangio S's here, the right and the left. But this could be a real chance now here for Sergio Junior if he can angle it to the inside. Again, he looks in the mirror, trying to get aggressive. He gets right up underneath. He could probably toast a little bit of something on the flames there. But you have to remember, they're down to 6 minutes, 20 seconds here. That's 4 laps from when they cross the line. They haven't got not long remaining in this race.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He wants the race win, so he's going to need to make this move pretty soon. The biggest challenge he's got is he's got the exact same manufactured car that he's driving in front of him. So the characteristics of the car are going to be pretty similar, where he's going to be where he would have had an advantage in another manufacturer. Potentially wouldn't have that same advantage in a McLaren. So he needs to make it on one of these straights. It's a good position here as we're seeing the second place car really weaving all over the place. And yeah, he could set himself up nicely if he does this last corner well, and have a late approach to it. We're just going to see if he does catch up on the back here. Yes, very nice corner exit. This could be the run he's going to get. There we go.
There's the mistake that one Mr. Sergio Junior was waiting for. Fernando Gomez just pushing a little bit too early out of Sunset Bend, gets himself caught outside in the grass, doesn't hit the wall, but enough slowdown which allows Sergio Junior back up into second position. Now Vendel Para will be on notice because Sergio Junior has looked fantastic all race long, and that will continue to fight all the way to the end of this race.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, great racing we're seeing here. He's got 0.7 of a second separating himself and Para. Sergio really does want this race, and he's probably got 2 laps to get it done. I reckon he will be able to pull him in because he is closing that gap. It's now down to 0.58, and yeah, the tyres will be starting to wear out on Para's car. So are they on Sergio, because they're both on the same age life of tyre. But yeah, certainly having the slipstream is helping, and it's down to 0.3 of a second. So here it's going to be on for these last few laps, Barry.
Amazing middle sector there by Sergio Junior onto the Flying Fortress straight through Bishop Corner, heading to the Genda Bien Corner here at turn 14 out on track right now, having a good job. There are battles going on. Alex Puente Dura has caught the back of Catala and Ferrero. We'll be definitely trying to get through in terms of that. And Fernando Gomez is really dropping off the back of this group now and is at risk of being dropped by Junior and by Para, who are out there, and it will be racing 1 versus 1, both of whom come from similar clubs. Club Brazil for Vendel Para, Club Iberia, Sergio Junior, who now looks to try and really set this one up. This has got to be all about precision here, as they know they're going to be racing against the clock. 3.5 minutes. Vendel Para gets on the radio. He's defending this one on the inside. Don't fight me. Don't fight me, as he takes the defensive stance going through turn number 1. Is this up and under then from Sergio Junior? You bet it is. You've got to cover quickly here if you're Vendel Para. He does. Here comes Junior to the outside. Not going to find.
Not going to find, but he is certainly putting a lot of pressure on. And yeah, it's going to be really important to get that back straight corner exit perfect. And then, yeah, get at least side by side.
I'll tell you what, this is a great battle, but there was a big moment going on for about 7th place between Catala and Puente Dura. Puente Dura very nearly ran into the back out of the final corner of Yoni Catala.
Yeah, that's not what they want, that's for sure. Only a few corners remaining for this lap. It's got 1 more lap to have a crack at it.
This is such a heavy fence, though, Fonzie. Look at this. Every corner, Vendel Para is making sure he's got the widest McLaren in Florida at this stage. He is making sure there is no way for Sergio Junior to get through, and they're fighting so hard that Fernando Gomez is coming back into this.
Yeah, fantastic battles. Well, you never know. We can see Gomez take this win if he plays the cards right. Fastest lap, so last lap for Sergio Jr. was a 1:59.5. Pera a 2:01.
Says all you need to know. 0.6 of a second difference onto the Ullman Straight for the penultimate time they come along, and now they're going to try and work out where you need to go. They weave across because they know they are making sure they stay in the draft. Through Sunset Bend they will come along then, and now this is where Sergio Jr. really needs to strike. Gets right up underneath then through the corner. Para will have a better run off of the exit, and here will come Gomez now with a chance to come back. Banner in the works then for Sergio Jr. He has to defend starting the final lap.
Yep, here we go, it's on. Final lap. What's this going to bring for us? We've got a very hungry Sergio Jr. trying to get on the back and past Hyundai Powell. Yeah, he's starting to lose a little bit of pace though. Or has Parrot turned up the gas a bit more?
I think it's the latter more than the former. Sergio Jr. did have to change his line into turn one. That would have costed him about a tenth. The gap, 0.4 of a second and a little bit more as he now thinks about this corner. This hairpin corner closes right up underneath under braking and needs to attack this middle sector as he has done so many times before. Use the off-track instant points that you've got to your advantage if you need it. It says change it up on the top of the car. He does need to change it from second to first at this moment in time as they now go into Cunningham Corner here. This fantastic 90-degree right, and now he's got to attack through Collier and all the way to the Tower Corner and the Flying Fortress Straight, but he's now starting to struggle a little bit. He's looking behind now more rather than in front. Fernando Gomez is there, but crucially Para's got 2 car lengths to play with and a bit more at this stage, and he just needs to stay calm, does Vendel Para. He's been leading this race all bar 1 lap in this one, which was led by Sergio Jr. as they make their stops. There is traffic in front of them, though. It's in the form of Christoph Rendelin, who is 6 laps down, trying to save his iRating and safety rating as they go through. Was that the opportunity that was needed here for Sergio Jr. to chase this one down? He'll get right up close now, but he needs a big, massive lunge and a mistake from Vendel Parafis to get this one, because he's still a car length and a half back as they enter Sunset Bend for the final time. Vendel Para has to just hold it with power on the exit, and he will do. There's understeer then as they go through. It'll be a drag race for second as they come to the line. Vendel Para will take this one here then at Sebring. It'll be second for Sergio Jr. and Fernando Gomez will come home with 3rd place. They come to the line. Big battle at the end as through goes Puente Dura over the line. He will pass Yoni Catala at the Sunset Bend, the final corner.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic race from those guys. That was really, really awesome to watch. And yeah, I thought that Junior may have had a chance there, but he clearly just pushed those tyres a little bit too hard when he was getting his way past Gomez and trying to hunt Para down. And but yeah, either all great battle to the end.
Yeah, so all of the effort there in that race, a fantastic race that we had, tactical as always. Everything was on the line and in the mix as they went through. Classified results then, Vendel Para will come to the line and take the victory in a finishing time of 40 minutes and 36 seconds. He wins by 3/10 over Sergio Jr. The top 4 in this one, all McLaren, as Fernando Gomez finishes 3rd and Juan Bustamante then comes home in 4th position, having a little bit of an argument with DJ Alessandrini, who comes across the line in 5th place after the contact they had at Tower Corner. Alejandro Ferrero in the Good Smile racing car gets 6th place overall, with Alex Puente Dura in 7th, getting past on the final corner ahead of Yoni Catala in 8th place. Scott McFall, haven't said much about him today, but he had a really good drive. He gained 5 places, did a really solid job. He finishes that one 9th in the Lamborghini, with Malte Stumpf, the biggest mover and shaker in the field. Did have one bit of contact, which wasn't ideal for him, but 28th to 10th is definitely no slouch at all. Alvar Gomez then gained 12 places in 11th, Karol Straczynski there in 12th place. Alexandre Lacroix had issues on the opening lap, but still managed to recover to finish 13th, with Josep Yobe Gonzalez there in 14th position. Joachim Stenstrom then gets 15th after not being able to set a time in qualifying, with Kieran Blacklock 16th and Thomas Hinds a quiet 17th. All things said and done. Sasha Lippert and Dave Menando are the last finishers on the leading lap. with those 3 laps down or further retirees or pacing laps down. Ethan Bass there is laps down with Alexei Kaiser, Christoph Rendlin then struggling, Benoit Lepezinek then retiring from the race, along with Julian Ezekiel Alvarez, who had a massive flip moment, somehow able to keep it on all 4 wheels, but had to retire the car. Then you got Nilton Carvalho, Kiefer McKenna, Eric Nickens, and Matteo Fortan. They're all in trouble on the opening laps of the race in this VRS GT Sprint Series event. But, ladies and gentlemen, the focus is going to be now moving forward for these drivers. There's a lot of different ideas here with this. And, Fonty, it's important to say that a lot of these drivers will have one thing in mind, and that's the racing either tomorrow or the day after for the Sebring 12 hours that will go along in their various time splits.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Great weekend of endurance racing. I was trying to make my mind up whether or not I have a crack at it. It's been a little while since I've turned some laps, but after watching commentating tonight, if I can find a teammate, I might go and have a crack.
Certainly does seem to be a case. Well, it will be showtime for all of these drivers next time we come to you in what will be 1 week here with the racing that we will have moving forward, because this is going to be a wonderful track that these drivers will be heading to round 3 of the championship. So everything on the line and a bit more to come along with that. The one place you definitely want to be staying with is with SimSpeed TV, not just for right now, but for racing that will be going on throughout the weeks that we have moving forward. We've got round 3 of the V8 Supercars Online Premier Series coming to you from this wonderful circuit here of Sebring in the not too distant future. Daytona awaits for all of these drivers as we get ourselves prepared for us. A massive thanks goes to the Virtual Racing School, who helped sponsor and title this GT Sprint Series. And on top of that, the crew that have been working hard behind the scenes, from the likes of Jay Kennedy on the camera, Scott Fountain alongside me. My name's been Jake Sperry. It will be smiles then for Vendel Para, who got the better of Junior and Gomez when he came to the line, but there were bust-ups aplenty. Bustamante and Alessandrini not making friends as they get themselves to the end. Ethan Bass wasn't a very happy character come the end of racing, and there'll be a whole host of drivers now who will be trying to desperately gather back up iRacing and safety rating, especially for what will be coming up in the near future. We'll catch you very soon in 1 week's time as we head to Draft Central, Daytona, USA.
This is fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's got rhythm outside of both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taking Anderson. Anderson's up top.
Oh my god! Oh! Big crash! Oh my goodness, half the field's gonna get rolled!
Second very close. These guys are going to want to make their way through the field very quickly.
Oh, there we go! Oh no!
That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my god!
God, what?